Mukam karoti vachalam pungam langayate agrim yatkripatamaham vande Sri Gurum Deenadharanam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, before starting our today's subject matter, we have to give the background where we are, right? We are in 6th canto, 9th chapter. We are going to study the prayers by the demigods to the Lord. Why they are praying? We saw last prayer was Daksha Samsaguya prayers. Before creating, he prayed. Hmm? Now, demigods are praying. So, what is the reason why they are praying? That I have to give you background. As we all know, that we are not going to every detail of Bhagavatam. We are only selecting the prayers. That's why we have skipped many important lessons like Ajamil, all these things. Okay. So now we are in the story of Vritrashura. So very nice devotee of the Lord. So we will at least we will. I think we can go through some prayers regarding Vritrashura. We will see later. Some prayers are coming. Now, why these demigods are praying? That we will see. Once in Swargaloka, heavenly planet, Indra was opulently seated. He was surrounded by all his Gandharvas, Apsaras, all kinds of heavenly people. That time, his guru, Brahaspati, entered the assembly. But due to intoxication of power, influence, money, other followers, Indra didn't bother to give respect to Brahaspati. He didn't stand up to welcome Brahaspati, or he didn't give him a seat, or he didn't respect him at all. So this Brahaspati, who is guru, got very much offended and he became invisible. This is great. He made a good punishment to Indra. He became invisible so that Indra cannot come and ask for forgiveness. He didn't curse Indra, he disappeared. That's all. Indra tried to find out where is Brahaspati. He couldn't. See, by offending seniors, here Brahaspati is not in the level of spiritual master, like we have the spiritual path, we have spiritual master. He is like a spiritual master because in the kingdom they have Kulaguru. So Brihaspati is that type. Anyway, but still, he has to give him the full respect. That is Indra's duty, but which he failed to do. So Brihaspati disappeared. Because of the offense which he has done to Brahaspati, he lost his power, he lost his kingdom. So the demigods, the demons, could easily conquer Indra and demigods. So the result is there now. Without cursing, he cursed them. He need not curse. Brahaspati need not curse. The proud behavior of Indra resulted, gave him a punishment. So now Indra is repenting. But in ordinary people in this material world, in earthly planet, people are punished, but they don't realize their punishment. We are seeing everywhere people are punished, but they don't realize why we are punished, why we are undergoing stress, why we are thrown out, why we are having these problems. They don't think a while, but demigods are demigods are surely devotees. They are definitely devotees. So Indra immediately understood that because of his offense towards Brahaspati, he lost the kingdom. So you want to find out the solution. They, along with the other demigods, they all approached Their father, their leader, Brahma, Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma got annoyed. He told, "What foolishness you are doing." He scolded them, but he guided them like a father. He guided them, go take shelter of Krishna, Lord Vishnu. Then also he also gave them, suggested them that to find out a priest or brahmana so that they can find a solution. So now they are there is a brahmana by name Twasta. Twasta's son is Vishwarupa. So they found out Vishwarupa to help them. So Vishwarupa helped them and they receive Narayana Kavacha. It's nice, Narayana Kavacha. So they have got Narayana Kavacha shield, and because of getting the Narayana Kavacha, they again conquered the demons. Okay, but in due course of time, Indra found out the Vishwarupa is his father is from demigod side, but mother's side is from demoniac side. This Vishwarupa had 3 heads. So this Vishwarupa openly, publicly, he gave oblations to demigods, but secretly he also gave oblations to the demons. So Indraya Swaha, again somewhere he was giving Swaha for some asuras also when he performed sacrifices. This was identified by Indra and he got so annoyed immediately without thinking. He took a sword and cut off the head of Vishwarupa, which is again a big offense of killing Brahmana. So when he killed Brahmana, then he realized that I made a mistake. Again, committing mistake again and again. So Indra said, I need to undergo the punishment. When he underwent the punishment, he had to share because he is king, right? And the king is there, the king's sin is distributed among the citizens also. We have read that the citizens' sins, one of the sixth part goes to the king. Here, Indra's sin was distributed to 4 people: earth, trees, water, and women. He gave some benediction also. He the sin is given also, distributed also. So the earth, if you see, earth has benediction is earth has some ditches. You ditch, but it has the capacity to fill it. The earth, it will become normal. And ditch happens, then it can become normal also. That is the benediction. But earth has deserts also. The deserts are not suitable place for civilized people to live, and in desert we cannot perform any pious activities, good devotional activities, and that's what it is said. So this is for first sin, and the secondly is the sin is distributed to the trees. If you see the trees, the benediction I'm telling first, the trees as if we cut off the trees branches, they grow again. That is the benediction. But the trees as sap, if you see, some liquids are coming from the trees, which which cannot be taken. It's like, it is like a poison which we cannot consume it. Sap of the tree. And then third is women. Women, they can enjoy lusty desires continuously even during pregnancy for as long as sex is not injurious to the embryo. But the women are given with monthly menstruation every month, which is really a trouble. That is the sin taken by the women. And then finally, water. Water can increase the volume of other substance which is added to it without knowing. Like if you add water to milk, the milk volume is increased, but nobody knows that water is added to that. Like juice, milk, juice, anything else, if you add, the volume increases without the other party cannot know that water has added. So, like that, that power has water has got. Water has the sinful reaction. What was it? If you see in water, if you have bubbles, foams, that should not be consumable. So bubbles and foams in the water is dirty. That cannot be taken. So this is the sin which the water has acquired by taking the sin of Indra. So if a king performs sin, then that is divided into to the citizens. So now it is a long story. Then regained. Indra regained his power by again performing some austerities. But still, it is a long way to go now. What happened? Vishwarupa was killed by Indra. Vishwarupa was killed by Indra. So this was unbearable for the um, father of Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa was cut off, no, the three heads. Three heads become three different sparrows in the world. Okay. But the father of Vishwarupa, Twasta, was very angry and he started performing a sacrifice to kill Indra. When he performed that sacrifice, a big demon, the description is very, very nicely given. He was very, very, very huge. He could stand between earth and sky, that huge. Like, for example, when Vritrashura was standing, Indra was like a ant before Vritrashura. Imagine that. So big. So the demigods got really, really scared now by seeing the appearance of Vritrashura. Because Twasta performed a powerful sacrifice, but unfortunately, Twasta did one thing. What he did? Twasta pronounced the mantras wrongly. He, he said a demon should come who will kill Indra, but instead of that, he recited a demon who will be killed by Indra should appear. So just see, this is the problem with Karma Kanda. What is Karma Kanda? The ritualistic activities performed to gain something. If Karma Kanda activities, if you perform, even if you make some mistakes, it will end up in differently. See, in bhakti, in devotional service, you may pronounce some verses wrongly. But here, it is only pure love for Krishna is considered. Here, there is no expectation. Krishna will give me this wealth, that wealth, the power to kill this demon, that demon. No such business here. So, this is a safe line that we surrender to Krishna and we pray only to gain his favor. That's all, nothing else. Only to please him. But Karma Kanda activities should be performed perfectly. Otherwise, it may result negatively also. We should be careful. So, Twasta did Yagya and a demon appeared, but he didn't know that the demon will be killed by Indra. Okay. So, now by seeing Vritrashura, the demigods got really, really scared. So now again, they took the shelter of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here we are now. So they are praying nicely to the Lord, and wonderful prayer appeared. Though the demigods are mixed devotees, they are not pure devotees. But one thing we can learn from that, we cannot comment on demigods. They are definitely above us and they are in an exalted position. But our Guru Parampara Acharyas taught us that we should pray Nadanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhaktirahait ketuvai. We are not definitely, we cannot think of the position of demigods. They are definitely devotees. They are very, in a very high level. And the lesson we learn from demigods is that at any stage, they depend on Krishna. This makes the difference between demons and demigods. The demons, they don't take shelter of Krishna. They don't surrender to Krishna. They do some karma kanda activities and they gain some powers and they use it, misuse it. That's all. But the demigods are always obedient to the Supreme Lord. And if they even commit mistake, they realize. Like Indra, you saw, right? He commit mistakes and he realizes it. It's not that, oh, I have done mistake, I'll do more mistake. That is demoniac mentality. But the demigods, they do mistake and they do realize it. And they want to rectify it also. So these lessons we can learn from demigods, and they always depend on Krishna. So that's why the beautiful prayer appeared. So the demigods are praying for the protection from the Lord. So let us take shelter of the Supreme Lord, whom even time death fears. Who is fearing Krishna? Death personified. And the Yamaraja is so scared of Krishna. The five elements, ether, air, fire, water, and earth, are controlled by us, by the demigods. But we are afraid of time and offer our presentations by performing our work as time dictates. You see, they are controllers of this universe, but they are controlled by time. They themselves are praying. So, when the time personified, the death personified, they are controlled by the Lord. See, these controllers are controlling the material affairs, but still they are controlled by the time. So, the time and the death personified, they are all afraid of Krishna. So, we have to take shelter of Krishna. That's the prayer. And then the shelter, about the shelter, verse 22, about the shelter, they are praying. The Supreme Lord is never wonderstruck by anything. He is not wonderstruck by anything in this, because everything is created by him. And he is fully satisfied by his own spiritual perfection. Paripurna kama svenaiva labhena. He is completely satisfied in his position. See, in material world, if we get one thing, we desire for another thing. If a man is given a cycle, he wants to go in scooter. Okay, if a man is given scooter, he wants to go in a better vehicle than in two-wheeler itself. Okay. Then afterwards, he wants to go in car. After that, he wants to go in AC car. After that, he wants to go in train and then airplane, like that. The man's desire go and it is never ending. But the Lord is fully satisfied by his own spiritual perfection. He is spiritually perfect, paripurna, and he is in a complete blissful state. And he is equipoised. Equipoised means samam. He is equal to everything in every situation. He is very steady. One day like this, one day like that. So many devotees ask us one question. After the class or something like that, they ask, Mataji, see, attaining Krishna is possible only by the mercy of the Lord, right? So unless we get the mercy, how we can attain him? This question they ask. But many times we explained there are two important points in attaining the Lord. Two important points. One is Lord's mercy. We think about only Lord's mercy. Lord is not giving us mercy, He is not merciful, He is not looking at us like that. But the other important thing is we have to put our endeavors. I think last class I told that the rope is always given to the fallen soul in the material world. Then we have to capture the rope so that the Lord can pull us out. His position is always same. That's why he is called as equipoised, is summum. He expects us to come back. It is not that he is not um, bothered about us, is not worried about us. Many non-devotees criticize him. Lord doesn't have eyes. I am so much suffering. He is not seeing. Not like that. He is always merciful. His position is always there. The second part, that we are not putting our endeavor, is the answer. Is the real answer. What is lacking? We are not putting our endeavors. So this we should always understand. Why I am not advancing? It's not because mercy is given already. Mercy is given to each and every living entity in this universe. But the living entity is not taking the mercy. That is the only reason that we have to understand clearly, then only we can improve ourselves. Otherwise, not possible. So he is equipoised, his position, the Supreme Lord's position is unchangeable. The changing is human being, the living entities, they change. But the Lord never change. He is perfect. He is always perfect. He is always expecting that to, he always is ready to help us. We are not taking his help. He's ready. He's always looking at us. Come, come. I'm ready to help you. We are not taking his help. Okay, so a person desiring protection without approaching him is certainly a great fool who tries to cross the sea by holding on to a dog's tail. So, if we want to cross the sea, what we have to do? We have to get into a big ship. But if we catch hold of a dog's tail and think to cross over the ocean, is it possible? But in this material world, we behave like this only. Throughout our life, if you check, we do this only. We don't get into the ship, which is powerful to, which has the capacity to cross over the ocean. But we normally, generally, all the human beings, we find out solutions in different direction instead of taking the shelter of the Lord. That's what the demigods also praying. If we take shelter of anything else, then we are fools. We should first take the shelter of Supreme Personality of Godhead. That doesn't mean that we should not put our endeavors. We should put our endeavors completely having the understanding. We should have 100% understanding that we are only puppets in the hands of Krishna. With that understanding, we should work asking for his mercy, which he is always giving, but still our mood should be like that in any activity. So the Lord protected us earlier also. Demigods are really intelligent because they are praying, they are seeing that, and they are mentioning how the Lord protected them in different occasions. So they are now narrating that. Manu saved by Matsya. The king, Satyavrata, he became the Manu in the next millennium. So he was with his full um, followers, Satyavrata, at the time of devastation, annihilation, he boarded a boat And there was a rope. That rope was tied to the horn of the Matsya fish, golden fish, gigantic fish. So that Lord who saved Manu, please save us from the fearful danger caused by Vritrashura. Vritrashura, when he came, it looked like as if some pralaya came, some devastation came, some storm came. It was very, very tough for the demigods. They got really, really fearful. Not easy, to see such a powerful demon appeared. So next prayer, they are quoting, they are remembering how Brahma was saved by the Lord. May the Lord who saved Brahma from danger in the beginning of creation. When Brahma started the creation, what happened? He fell from lotus flower into uh, de- uh, into a wave of devastation. Out of fear, he was in the lotus flower, but suddenly he fell into the water. Then the Lord protected. He is a creator God. Brahma is a creator. So Lord has to protect him. Then Lord protected him. So though the Lord is present everywhere, he is not visible to our material senses. By his mercy, may he become visible and protect us. So Brahma thought, gone, I am gone, but Lord protected him. So the demigod says that if Brahma didn't see the Lord, but he was protected. Similarly, we are not able to see the Lord, but let him become visible and protect us. We cannot see him. Why we cannot see him? Demigods are praying. The Lord created us by his own Maya. And by his mercy, we expand the creation of the universe. We cannot see him because this is very important prayer. Huh? This applies to us also. We cannot see the Lord because we think that we are separate and independent gods. Why the demigods are not able to see the Lord? If you see the demigods, they are not getting the darshan of the Lord. They also stand at the ocean of, at the shore of Shiro ocean, means milk ocean, and they pray. Sometimes Lord speaks only. In the last prayer, we saw that in somewhere we saw in the 10th canto we are studying. There, the demigods headed by Brahma uh, went to pray near milk ocean. When they prayed, it is described in 10th canto, when they prayed, they didn't receive even the voice message. The instruction, the answer was given in the heart of Brahma. So Brahma received heart to heart message, and not like Asariri, not the sky speaks, or not the Lord spoke to all of them, nothing. So the Lord is not visible to us. Why? Why he is not visible to us? Because we think that we are gods. This ruling over the material nature is there for all of us. We want to control the situations. We want to take the lead in controlling so many things. Ishvaroham, that is the biggest problem of the jiva. That's why we are here. We want to control, and we are thinking we are the controllers. Then we are not able to see. That's the reason that we are not able to see the Lord. The demigods are 100% realized, and they are saying why we are not able to see the Lord. He appears in various, now they are glorifying the Lord in the verse 26, that he appears in various incarnations, considering us his own. He is thinking that we are his children. Yes, of course. For he feels everyone, for every living entity is his children. The demigods feel that the Lord is specially concerned about them, especially merciful. That is true also. So he protected us from greatly suffering from the demons, but in many, many areas. Many times he took avatar to protect the demigods. So they say that by becoming avatars in various forms among demigods, Vamana, among sages, Parasurama, among animals, Narasimha and Varaha, among aquatics, Matsya and Kurma, among men, human being, Rama and Krishna. So he takes different various incarnations in different species, and because to protect us, he comes here. So that's the mood of demigod. So Lord is coming here to help us to bestow his mercy on us. Then verse 27, so we approach and take shelter of him, who is the shelter of devotees. Atma Daivatam. For devotees, who is the shelter? Krishna is the shelter. And he is the cause of everything. He is Param. He is the Param. Param means Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. Material, he is the owner of the material nature. Pradhanam. And the supreme enjoyer, Purusham. The universal form, Vishwam. Different from universe, Anyam. Worthy of worship by all. That's why we have to worship him. And he's the super soul, Mahatma, Mahatma. So Prabhupada gave us a nice explanation of how the Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha and Prakriti. Prakriti is the material nature, right? And Purusha is living entities. How these two are controlled by the Supreme. Though they act to control the material nature. Like Prakriti is the controller of material nature. But ultimately it is controlled by the Lord. The individual jivas are also controlled by the Supreme Lord. Though it is living entities are called as Purusha, but Mahapurusha is Krishna. So he is the cause. We should understand he is Sarvasya Saham. What is this verse? Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo Matah Sarvam Pravartate. So everything emanates from Krishna. So he is the supreme enjoyer. He is the supreme enjoyer. And because he says that though in this material world he is not there, but he is there as universal form. It is his energy which is the Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa is, we study in Bhagavad Gita 11th chapter, right? Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa is a material form of the Lord, not the spiritual form. But everything lies on him, but he is not on them. Everything lies on him. He is the Vishwarupa of the material universe. And so we all have to worship him. We all have to take his shelter, who is the ultimate shelter. No other shelter is going to protect us or help us. He is our ultimate shelter. So we Sharanam. We have to take his Sharanam. We have to surrender to him. So that's how the demigods end the prayer. It's nice and sweet, simple prayers by the demigods, not like so complicated like Kamsaguya prayers. The demigods understood their inability to solve their problems. So they take shelter of Krishna. Nice, no, to have problems in life so that we always remember Krishna. We always take shelter of Krishna. So the demigods, though they are given unlimited enjoyments, they are often times in between, they undergo different difficult situations, they take shelter of Krishna. So we all should follow demigods. We have to surrender to Krishna, and for in any condition, whether we are in happiness or in distress, in whatever condition we are in, we take complete shelter of Krishna. But giving the solution, solving our problem is up to him. We can take his shelter. This is the one. And that itself is success. My dear devotees, if our problem is not solved, that is also good for us. But taking shelter is success for a devotee. For example, we ask something from the Lord, but that is not given to us. That is not given to us. We continue praying. We continue praying. After some time, we will realize that why the Lord didn't give us that. Why the Lord didn't give us what we prayed for. Because something best He wanted to give us. That I experienced in my life many times. Many times we keep trying. Every time fail. Then we surrender. Okay, I don't want this. I will leave it. Then the best thing comes to you. So Krishna always is a well-wisher. He's our well-wisher. Whether you ask or you don't ask, he's there to help us. But when we ask, the relationship is built. Okay. So the stressful situations are welcomed by devotees, which we saw in the prayers of Kunti Maharani. She prays, Vipata Shantuta Shashvat Tatra Tatra Jagat Kuro Bhavato Darshanam Yachyat. Apunar Bhava Darshanam. So let there be calamities in our life. When calamities come, we come to see you, we take your shelter. By taking your shelter, by seeing you again and again, we will not see the birth and death again and again. Nice, no? So, problems are good so that we take shelter. We always depend on Him. If we are uh, ordinary, common people, they enjoy many things in this world. During that enjoyment, they forget Krishna. They are given enough facilities. We are seeing big people like politicians, cinema actors, leaders, so many people. They are with so much money, power, strength, fame. So due to that, they forget. They become atheist also many times. And they are puffed up. They are proud. And they don't depend on Krishna. Ultimately, time comes and take them. Oh, now you have to surrender. The Yamaraja comes and says, surrender to me. Don't surrender to Krishna, but you have to surrender to me. But we devotees, at the end of our life, we don't surrender to Yamatudas or Yamaraja. We surrender to Krishna. Makes difference. Makes difference. Throughout our life, we practiced our life in surrendering to Krishna throughout our life. So, Ante, Narayana Spriti is expected, is possible. Then Krishna protects us from the samsara. Devotees, if you have any questions and comments, you are welcome. Hare Krishna. Rasamurti, no? No question? Anuragini, any question is there?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
You told about that Vishwaru in the beginning. That
Twastasana.
three, that
Vishwarupa.
is, it became three division.
Three
Can,
kind of sparrows.
so can you explain that in detail?
No, the three heads became three different birds.
Oh, okay.
Three heads become three kinds of birds.
So why
Okay?
the actually it is due to curse, Mataji, or some any other reason?
He was killed
Yes.
because he was giving oblations to demons. So Indra
Okay.
didn't like it, so he killed him. It's
Okay.
not a curse. He was punished. He was
Okay.
acting in favor of demigods. But
Mm-hmm.
secretly, he was acting in the favor of demons also, which Indra didn't like it. So
Okay.
Indra killed him.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Universal affairs. Sometimes difficult to understand also, right?
Okay. Mataji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, no doubts for others. So, we will end the class. Can we know the last mood of a devotee at the end of their life? Can we know the last mood of? Yes. End of the life, the devotee completely takes shelter of Krishna and he remembers Krishna, right? We can take different examples of great exalted devotees. Throughout Bhagavatam, this is described how the devotee practice Krishna consciousness and how peacefully they leave the body without any attachment and reach Krishna. So, first, I will take the example of Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj, maybe Rama, you know Prithu Maharaj or not, I don't know. Um, he was an incarnation. He was empowered by Krishna to rule the world. He was king. So imagine the politicians, if they are king, will they leave the kingdom and go for forest to do perform devotion? No. They will stick to the chair until they die. But Prithu Maharaj, after uh, uh, after 50 years of his life, he handed over everything to his son and then he retired to the forest. He performed meditation, he performed pure devotional service only. So, devotees, after completion of their duties, they wind up. They don't take over of their positions, their leadership roles till the end of my life. I'll be the prime minister till the end of my life. I'll remain as a collector, teacher, doctor, anything, or mother. And ladies also, if you see, the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law fight, if you see, the mother-in-law never likes to give the kitchen to the daughter-in-law. Okay, now I have become old. Let the daughter-in-law takes charge of the kitchen. You manage. I will take my bead bag and chant. No, the mother-in-law also be there and controls. This is where the problem comes. Either somebody is a king, somebody is a simple housewife, somebody is whatever it is. They don't leave at certain point. We have to wind up after performing our duties. We have to wind up and then think of Krishna only. End of the life, the devotees do only one thing. They completely surrender to Krishna and they remember Krishna at the time and they chant and remember Krishna and go back to Krishna. That we see in the life of Prithu Maharaj, we see in the life of Bhishma Dev, we see in the life of Srila Prabhupada. He was chanting and he was guiding the devotees. He was dictating Bhagavatam till his last breath. He was completely remembering Krishna. That we can see in any pure devotee's life. Recently, one Maharaj left from Kadambakanana Swami Maharaj. He left his body in Vrindavan. So when he found out that his disease is increasing, he said, I don't want to take any treatment. I don't want to die myself in hospital. I'll go and settle in Vrindavan. He was in Vrindavan only doing devotional service, completely thanking God, completely remembering God, remembering Krishna, and left body peacefully. So they don't have any grudges. They don't lament. They don't worry about anything. They think of Krishna 100% and then leave. This is how the devotees at the end of their life. You see, Bhishmadev, he settled everything. He was remembering Krishna and he chanted Vishnu Sahasranama at the time of his death. And by seeing Krishna, he left the body, which is the ultimate goal. By thinking of Krishna, but he was a pure devotee and he was connected with Krishna. So Krishna was there, he left this body. So many devotees throughout Bhagavatam, this is the story. They remember Krishna and leave. If you see the life of Dhruva Maharaj, he stepped on death. Death didn't come to him. He stepped on death and then conquered the death. Similarly, Parikshit Maharaj, after listening Bhagavatam, snake came, snake touched his body, not him. Before that snake touches him, he left the body. He was not at all fearful. One thing, the devotees are not fearful of death. And the main thing is, they remember Krishna and happily go back to Vaikuntha Lok, Goloka Vrindavana, spiritual world. Yeah. Okay, Rama. If a girl child chant the name of Krishna, will help her mother in the afterlife journey. If a daughter chants for the mother, will it help? Definitely it will help. But each one of us, we should take our own bhakti. See, if somebody is praying for us, we will be benefited. We will get the opportunity to do devotional service. But that alone will not help us to reach Krishna. Anyone. Some other persons may pray for us. They may give us blessings and mercy or other things, but that will help us. The main thing we have to do. The person has to do. So the mother may, like I also lost my mother. So I can pray for her. Let her get a nice opportunity to do devotional service. I can pray for her. But she should take up devotional service by her full, complete surrender. She also have to perform. I can pray for her. That will benefit her. But that will not give her complete freedom from material life. That for that particular individual has to work hard. Work for it. Correct? Any other question?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
You told about the Parikshit Maharaj. So it has mentioned in Bhagavatam, Mataji, that where it has been mentioned, Mataji, the Parikshit Maharaj before the snake bite.
12th canto. 12th canto. The snake comes, but when before even the snake touches his body, he leaves the body.
Oh, okay. That's Krishna.
He was not at all afraid. Devotees, they are not at all afraid of death. And they welcome death happily. And then they cross the death and then get into airplane, go to Krishna. Krishna Lok.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Right? So, thank you all. So, we will see next week with another prayer. Vanchakalpadaripasa kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare